I've been asked to make mnemonics and methods to learn the developmental milestones at various ages, but instead of coming up with a mnemonic, I am telling you the way I remember it. So there's a disclaimer that I don't claim these are the exact values, and there's a lot of difference between book to book, as in what months these developmental milestones, and also the ages which we read are the approximate maximum ages where by the time they should appear. So starting with my way to remember it is, see, there are a lot of at every age then there'll be a lot of milestones, so just try to remember the main ones. And when you remember two milestones at two different points, anything which is less developed than the milestone will come previous to that age, and the more developed one would come after it. So that is a general way where you can figure out what would be the approximate age when you have options, 4 options to choose between. So let's start with gross motor ones, and then there are like fine motor, and then lingual and social. So basically they're divided into these 4 classes, and let's start with I'll give you the basic ages, basic numbers where all which are common in all. So we start the gross motor one with 3 months, then come to 6 months, then come to 9 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years, and 5 years. So this is for gross motor. So let's start with 3, 6, 9, then 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5. So at 3 months, 3 months you can think of neck holding, and at 6 months the child flips over. Like, see, imagine for gross motor, imagine the whole body of a child. So firstly it will come only till neck at 3 months, then at 6 months somewhere around here, 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months somewhere around here, and at 1 year like child will stand. So these are the rough ages where you can remember things, like 3 months neck holding, and 6 months, 6 is somewhere in the mid torso. The child will flip, so it will turn from prone to supine, or supine to prone. Then at 9 months somewhere, up to the knees. So you can imagine this child starts crawling. And at 1 year it walks independently. And in some books you'd find that the child walks independently at 11 months. Somewhere it said that it walks independently by 13 months or 15 months. See, it depends, but when you have options, you can just use these basics to rule out which option would be the correct. So since that 1 year the child starts walking, so the next thing below it will, at 2 years the child will start running. And also at 2 years it climbs upstairs and downstairs with 2 steps. Then at 3 years, since it is 3, so the child will start riding a tricycle, and it will go upstairs with 1 step. So at 4 years you can remember that the child hops or jumps, and it climbs downstairs with 1 step. Climbing downstairs is more difficult than climbing upstairs. And at 5 years the child skips, lifting both the legs above the ground. So that is for gross motor. So 3, 6, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So neck holding, prone, supine, prone, then crawling, then walks independently at 1 year, 2 years running, up and down with 2 steps, 3 years tricycle, up 1 step, and hops, jumps downstairs with 1 step, and skips. Okay, so what is the difference between hops, jumps, and the skips? Okay, in skips it lifts both the legs above the ground, while when it's hopping, just one leg above the ground. So these are the rough gross motor ones. So to complete the list, we'll have to put some add-ons in between. So one is at 5 months. So at 5 months, the child will sit with support, and at 8 months it will sit without support. So 5 is between 3 and 6, and 8 between 6 and 9, and between 9 months and 1 year there will be 11 months where the child will walk with support. So you see, what happens is sitting with support is a less complicated activity, while sitting without support is more. So whatever is more developed, it will come later. So that's quite logical also. So even if the child will walk with support, and then it will start walking independently. So this is all for gross motor I have for you. Just take a quick look, and then coming to fine motor. So what we'll do for fine motor is again pick up the same numbers and then add on the extra ones in between. So the fine motor start with 3, and there'll be 6, and there'll be 9, and there'll be like 1 year, it will be 2 years, and 3 years, and 4 and 5. So so if you remember these basics, then you can add on the in between developmental milestones. So at 3 months, what happens is grasp reflex disappears. So it means that the grasp was already present in the child. So here you can add on like at birth grasp was present. So that's why it's getting disappeared at 3 months. At 6 months, 6 months, what happens is the child drops the object when another object is given. So it drops when other object. So the child finds the other object more interesting, so it drops the one previously in its hand. Then at 9 months, what happens is pincer grasp. Pincer grasp is kind of a sharp grasp, like I'm holding a pen. So pincer grasp at 9 months, and it can, 9, 10 is the usual range. And then at 1 year, what happens is casting will appear. Casting is voluntarily throwing of the objects, and mouthing will disappear. Mouthing is when the child puts everything in its mouth. Whenever you keep anything around, it will just pick up and try to put it in its mouth. So mouthing disappears at this age. So this leads me to mouthing will appear somewhere. That's why it's disappearing. So at 5 months, I would remember as mouthing appears. So 5 months something, I'll tell you later. Okay, we'll come back to it. And at 2 years you can remember as at 2 years what happens. Okay, 2 years the child starts making a tower of 6 cube. 6 cubes. The cubes I used to play in kindergarten, just make towers of it. So at 2 years, 6 cubes. And also at 2 years, which I will start making vertical strokes. Right. So these are 2 strokes, they're vertical, and it appears at 2 years. And also, when you give a book to child, a small any cartoon book or anything, it will turn 1 page at a time. So the child younger to 2 years will pull up the book and take so many pages and just turn around randomly. So slightly the child can do that. Pull up 1 page and turn around. So at 2 years, turning 1 page at a time. So after 6 cubes, what comes is 9 cubes. You can add 3 more to it, balance more. So that's why you're at 3 years. And 3 years, one more thing happens is handedness develops. And also at 3 years, the child can draw a circle. So coming to drawings, at 4 years it will draw something with 4 sides, that is a square or a rectangle, and make a cross. And at 5 years it can draw a triangle. See, this is one dicey thing where you can forget that riding a bicycle or a tricycle at 3 years, while a triangle which has 3 sides, but it happens at 5 years. See, triangle is quite a complicated structure and so many angles and this thing. So a 3-year-old child cannot draw a triangle. Just try to remember this. So this 3 with tricycle ka 3 is for 3, okay, and not for the triangle. So these are the fine motor ones. Let's add on to it something more. So what I was telling you is at 5 months there's a bidextrous approach. Bidextrous approach means whenever you give something to the child, it will try to hold it with both its hands. So that is bidextrous approach. So after bidextrous, what is more complicated is monodextrous. So or unidextrous. Okay, so at 7 months, unidextrous approach. And what happens with unidextrous approach is that since the child can hold one thing in one hand, so give him another thing in the same hand, what it will do, it will smartly transfer that one thing from one hand to another and take whatever you're giving. So if suppose I have this in my hand and you offering me this some other object, so I'll if I'm 7 month old, I'll just transfer it from one hand and then smartly take up this. So this is the unidextrous approach as well as the transfer of objects and transfer. So then 5, 7, and then coming to, and there's nothing between them, 9 and 1 year. Okay, so not something which I remember. You can just always go back and check from your books. Between 1 year and 2 years, there are 2 milestones at 15 months and 18 months. What happens is, since child starts throwing objects and mouthing disappears, so after mouthing will disappear, the child will start eating on itself, the food. So also at 15 months, you give the child, it can eat with spoon and cause a slight spillage. So, and at 18 months the same happens with the cup. So how I remember a spoon comes before the cup is the 15 is shaped something like S. So it's spoon and spillage, slight spillage, okay, and at 18 it's cup and slight spillage. So these are for 15 and 18 months. So this is the fine motor one. Just take a quick look at fine motor one, and then we'll move to lingual. The lingual milestones, again do the same thing like 3, 6, 9 and 1 year and then 2 years, and 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years. So with 3 we start like imagine a 3-month-old child. It will hardly say anything except like it does some cooing sound. So 3 years cooing, and at 3 months, I'm very sorry, it's 3 months, and 6 months the child starts speaking monosyllable words, and at 9 months after mono comes bi, so it's bisyllable words, and then bisyllable like mama, papa, or something like that. And 1 year, what happens is the child starts to say 2 words with meaning. Then coming down to 2 years, it was just 2 words with meaning. So at 2 years, the child will start speaking simple sentences. And at 3 years, if you ask, the child will tell you its name, age, and gender. So at 3 years, can tell you 3 things: its name, age, and gender. 1, 2, 3. So this is about 3-year-old child, and once you start asking child its name and gender, and it's some talkative child like me, at 4 years it will tell you stories and poems. This is the most common thing we do whenever the child goes to the kindergarten or the nursery, usually the 4-year-old, and they come home and we ask them to recite Johnny Johnny or Baba Black Sheep or something like that. So you can just think of a 4-year-old child singing Johnny Johnny. And at 5 years, the child starts identifying colors. Oh wow. So this is where my fascination for colors developed at 5 years. Okay, so let's add on a bit in between these lingual milestones. So it's happy there's nothing between 3 months to 1 year. So there are only 2 more milestones at 15 months and 18 months. So 15 months the child starts speaking meaninglessly, like a jargon speech. So at 15 months the child starts jargoning, and at 18 months it learns a lot of words. So from 2 words at 1 year, at 18 months the child starts saying 10 words with meaning. Okay, see, whenever, if you didn't know about this, like 18 months, 10 words with meaning, if there would have been a question, so it would have been easy for you to figure out, because at 2 years the child speaks simple sentences. So sentence requires like at least 15-20 words, and at 1 year 2 words with meaning. So if they're asking you, the child is speaking like 10 words with meaning, so it has to be somewhere between 1 year and 2 years. Okay, so 15-18 months. So this is the safe bet. You can play whenever any developmental milestone comes and you just don't know exact age. So you can find between which major milestones it lies, so that you know what is the approximate age. So take a quick look at lingual: cooing, monosyllable, bisyllable, 2 words with meaning; jargoning, 10 words with meaning; simple sentences, name, age, gender; and stories and poems and colors. So the life becomes interesting at 4-5 years, right? Now coming to our last one, the social milestones. Let's start with 3, 6, 9, and 1 year, and 2, 3, 4, 5. what we'll do at in social milestones is at 3 months the child starts recognizing mother. Okay, so the child is recognizing its mother at 3 months. So basically it will start smiling before that. So smile is the first gift as a social being that God gives to the child. So at 2 months there'll be a social smile, right? So 3 months the child will start recognizing mother. So what happens after recognizing mother is at 6 months it starts looking in the mirror and it starts recognizing itself, or starts playing with itself in mirror. So at 6 months it's mirror play. And then at 9 months, what happens is when you leave the home, the child will tell you bye bye and come back soon, or it starts clapping, basically using its hands to make social gestures. So at 9 months, they use their hands, then they'll do bye bye and they'll do clapping. So this is for 9 months, and then coming to 1 year. And at 1 year they start using their heads to make social gestures. So they'll start waving their head to say no. Okay, so this is what we all need to learn, to say no sometimes, because I still cannot say no to someone when someone asks me something. When I was asked to make this developmental milestones video, I couldn't say no. So I should have learned this sometime at 1 year to say no. Okay, that's a lot of funny stuff. So coming to 2 years. 2 years, what happens is, now we'll talk about the toilet and the personal parts about the child. So they're not they're part of a social development. So the 2 year child is dry by day. So automatically a 3 year choice and a 3 year wala, the next thing comes will be dry by night at 3 years. And what happens at 4 years is child goes to the toilet alone. Big deal. Okay, and they don't wake up the parents anymore, and they just go to the toilet alone whenever they feel like, peeing. And at 5 years, the child knows to dress and undress without any assistance. This is what a 5 year child can do. I sometimes still need my mother's help to choose dresses. Yeah, but I can dress and undress alone. I don't need assistance to do that. So I'm older than 5. So coming back to the add-ons in the social milestone list, there's one thing at 7 months. What happens is, at 3 months they start recognizing mother. At 6 months they start playing with the mirror, identifying the cells. And then comes about the strangers. They develop a stranger anxiety at 7 months. And then comes between 1 year and 2 years. There's at 15 months and 18 months. At 15 months, the child starts hugging parent. And at 18 months, the child will kiss the parent. Good night or something like that. So, but here, what I read, kissing parent has somewhere around 9 months also in some places. So that varies a lot with your books, whichever you follow. And don't take these things as absolute. And also just check it out in your own books and follow whatever you find correct. These are just the rough methods to remember things, the list. Just a quick revision. General motor 3, 6, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And fine motor. And then lingual. And then social milestones. Okay, that's it from my side. Stay awesome.